16 days ago that I had a very serious injury to my chest. I actually tore my chest.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So the fact that Derek Lunsford tore his chest 30 days before the Olympia this year, and that moment, that was actually caught on camera. Now this is something which could have forced him to sit out of the Olympia this year. But not only did the man do this show, he actually won the whole damn thing. So that makes it one of the greatest comeback stories, probably of all time. Because do not forget that Derek was being counted out after placing third in his first Olympia title defense last year. So the man came back, he won the Arnold, he won the Pittsburgh Pro, and he won the Olympia. Now you can like or dislike his physique, you can agree or disagree with the decision of the judges putting Derek ahead of Hadichoopan. But all that being said, Derek deserves some massive respect. Now it's probably the same when Dorian Yates tore his lot, just a few weeks out of his last Olympia competition. But he also ended up winning the Olympia that year. So this was a great strategy to keep something like this hidden going into the Olympia. Because him and his team, they did not want his competition to feel like that Derek is vulnerable in any way, shape or form. So talk about having the greatest year of his pro bodybuilding career. This is the one for Derek. Now I'm pretty sure he won't do any major bodybuilding shows in one calendar year again, because that is way too much stress, and not just physically, also mentally too. Now none of us would be remotely surprised if Derek just sticks to defending his Olympia title for next year and nothing else. So this injury of Derek also goes to show us that all of these bodybuilders, they are just one moment away, one bad moment from having a big dent in their pro careers. Now Derek, I must say, got away with it. But imagine if this was a full packed year, that would have been a career threatening injury. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am.
See, a weakness for Derek in this pose is his inner arms don't really have much detail, and obviously he doesn't really have much of a bicep peak.
Since so many people are complaining about the results of this past Mr. Olympia in the men's open, they are saying that Hadichoopan, he should have won. And the fact is, the man did win the finals show. So what about the judges and how did they see it? So the most anticipated Olympia breakdown between Hadi and Derek, that is now out. As always, Tyler Mannion, he gave a very detailed breakdown. So the overall score, that was 5-3 in favor of Derek. So imagine how hard it is for Hadichoopan to come back when he loses the first four mandatories: the front double, the front lat, side chest, and the back double. So the back lat spread, that was the first pose that went to Hadichoopan, along with abs and thigh, and the most muscular.
Hadi's chest is actually even flatter than Derek's. What I mean by this is the muscle itself doesn't look as thick. You don't really see the thickness there.
But if you guys think about this, the judges did not see some massive difference between Hadi and Derek. In the overall arms development, Tyler himself mentioned Derek's arms multiple times during this breakdown.
Overall, the leg size just was not the same as Derek's. Bicep-wise and inner arm detail, he obviously has much better bicep peaks and more detail in the biceps. So as you can see, it's a very, very close pose. They both have that very nice taper. When it comes to the arms, Hadi has the better arms. When it comes to the legs, Derek has the better legs.
So could the results have been any different if Hadi showed up as impressive and as conditioned for the prejudging as he was at the finals? Yes, he would have won. But that is why you have to peak for 2 days. And kind of unfortunate for Hadichoopan that he had that exact same thing happened last year at the Olympia 2 against Samson. Now I 100% believe that Hadichoopan can come back and win another title in the future. I still believe that his Arnold Ohio version from last year, that is still the best physique on that Olympia stage. But let me know what you guys think.
Hadi won finals 7-8. I felt like personally that Derek's conditioning from Friday to Saturday night, as the night moved on, his conditioning lessened on Saturday. So it wasn't quite the same as it was Friday night. And I felt for Hadi, he came back a little bit more conditioned Saturday night compared to Friday night.
So this has now been officially announced and confirmed that Andrew Jack will be competing at the upcoming Romania Pro in a little over 3 weeks from now. So I wonder, why isn't he going for Prague? As that show will probably have a bigger prize money for the men's open winner. So this is only one guy in this year's Olympia Top 4 about whom Tyler Mannion said that sky is the limit for him if he presents the Olympia level polish and conditioning with some added size, the kind of size that he had at Texas Pro last year. Now we all know what's gonna happen in that case.
Bring this kind of polish and conditioning and add a little bit of tissue in the right places. The sky is the limit for this guy, and I'm super excited to see what happens in 2026 with him.
If Andrew is able to put it all together, he's gonna be a future Olympia champion. And the more you look at the comparisons between Samson and Andrew, the more you realize that Andrew, with that height and that kind of width, he will make things very, very difficult for someone like Samson and also everybody else. So if he continues to improve at this pace, he's gonna be the future Olympia champion, no doubt. So it was the best condition that Andrew Jack ever brought to any bodybuilding stage, and that goes front to back. So the judges wanna see a bit more volume, especially on his quads from the front. And that will eventually come with time, because that is something that he has already presented. And that was the case at Texas Pro last year. Now, I so wish that this man started pursuing professional bodybuilding a little earlier in his career, because at this point, the only thing that can hinder him, that is his age, which right now is 40. But considering that a guy like Sean Roden, he won the Olympia at the age of 43, we have the likes of Brandon Carey, William Bonac, who are still improving at this age. And if Andrew also has the same kind of genetics, then there is nothing to worry about. And I am very sure that he will be one of the biggest contenders to win the Olympia next year. So now that we know that the drama between the mutant and Bob, that was scripted, one cannot deny the fact that what Bob and Sean Ray predicted for the mutant, that he will be announcing him in 8th place, that was kind of right. So not just one, two former pros, they are speaking up on Nick Walker's 6th place at the Olympia this year, and that he was given a gift. And both Brandon Carey and Antonio Burton, they should have beaten him at the Olympia this year.
He actually should have been in a truth be told, and that ain't a knock on him. He was actually legitimately, in my book, he was 100,000% in 8th place finalist. When I heard that he was in 6th afterwards, I need somebody to explain that to me, because Tonio and Brandon Curry both beat him on Friday and on
we're gonna get
Saturday
into
night.
that.
Now, as much as people hate Sean Ray, he was absolutely right about a few people and their placings at the Olympia this year, namely Nick Walker, Regan Grimes, and Oskar Lashinsky. And he spoke without any filters, and he also demanded some explanation on how Nick was able to place ahead of Brandon Carey when he was so far off, especially in terms of condition on Friday, while it was arguably the best Brandon that we saw in a very long time. Remember everyone trolling Bob when he said that Nick will be 6th, because at that time, it kind of seemed like that Nick will be fighting for the Olympia title, and that scenario seemed impossible. Even guys like Martin and Andrew beating him, that seemed far-fetched. Well, that is bodybuilding, and literally anything can happen on the day of the show.
So it's hard to say, but if I was a judge, I would give it to Brandon Curry.
Yeah. Or Antonio.
Possibly Antonio, yes. There would be.
So a historic welcome was expected for Ramon when he lands in Brazil, and the reception that he received, he will remember that forever. So in terms of the pure passion for bodybuilding, no one can beat either the Iranian fans or Brazilian fans, and they made sure that Ramon was greeted as their hero. So it took him a total of 5 years to finally win the Olympia, and that win came after getting 2 second places at the Olympia, and that was behind Chris Bumstead. So it was very much deserved, and Ramon solidified himself as one of the legends of Brazil. So this is his time to enjoy this victory, but he will be a lot more motivated next year to come back and successfully defend his classic Olympia title. So the one guy who was very happy for Ramon winning his first classic physique title, that was his former rival, Chris Bumstead. So once again, massive congrats to Ramon and his team for making history. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.